Okay, guys, Chris Perez joins me now. Thanks for taking some time here on STO's Social Spotlight. A ton of questions for you from all of your fans, so we'll try and get through some of them, okay?
Sounds good.
Put you on the spot a little bit.
Yes. I can't imagine why they have so many questions for me.
No, I know, right? Sean Gerhawk is first up, says, what are your thoughts on the improvement management made with the roster in the offseason? Are you going into this season with more optimism than last year?
I wouldn't say more optimism. Every season you're optimistic, but definitely a lot more excitement this year. This winter we were more active than they had been since I've been here combined.
Yeah.
So we brought in a lot of good players, and not only that, we brought in players that came from winning organizations. A lot of those guys like Swisher, Reynolds, those guys were in the playoffs last year. So hopefully they can bring some over to that magic.
Kenny Crawley Jr. says, Chris, how do you get ready for a game both before it starts and while you're warming up in the bullpen?
For me, I like to see the game live, so I'm down in the bullpen usually before the starter is done warming up, and then I like to watch, especially at home. We have a good angle. I like to see the hitters on the other team, so I'm in the bullpen all game. If it's a close game in the fifth inning, then I start really locking it in mentally and stop chit-chatting, stop messing around with the guys down there. I really start focusing on the lineups and who I might face. Other than that, nothing really special. I don't have any crazy routines.
No rituals, superstition.
As soon as you have one of those, something that goes wrong,
then it's done,
what are you gonna
right?
do? Yeah. And as a closer, I pitch extra inning games. I pitch when it rains, whenever we're winning. So I try to stay away from routines.
Okay. Dylan Wood says, I would like to ask you, do you think that the Indians have talent this year to contend, which of course would bring fans into the stadium?
We definitely have the talent to contend, but what's contending? Is it 5 games behind, 4 games? We want to win. We have a lot better roster than we had last year. A lot more pieces that can be moved around. Swisher can play right field, first base. Reynolds can DH, play third base, play first base. A lot more athleticism with Bourne and Drew Stubbs coming over. So I think the key is going to be staying healthy, like it is every year, and we need to get a little bit better on the mound from starters and the bullpen.
Jordan Swick says, with the strength of our bullpen, what do you think the chances that our rotation will help keep us in contention throughout the year?
We just talked about it a little bit. I think they have a lot better chance of being better.
Okay.
Masterson, we're looking for him to get back to his form of 2011.
Definitely.
Last year he had a little arm surgery before spring training even started, and he didn't really have a full offseason. So I'm hoping that led to a little bit of his struggles last year. Other than that, we brought in some good arms too. I mean, Trevor Bauer's got a really good arm. We picked him up in that trade. And then Scott Kazmar's looked really good too. So I think our rotation is going to be a little underrated at the beginning of the year, but by the All-Star break, hopefully they're pitching 6-7 innings every time and handing it over to our bullpen, letting us do our thing.
Kenny wants to know, what is it like being a member and, more importantly, a leader of the bullpen mafia?
It's great. I mean, it's kind of taken up a life of its own now since it started, for sure.
All over Twitter?
All over Twitter.
It has its own
it's crazy.
account. It's great.
It's our calling card. The bullpen, we're separated from the rest of the team. We're kind of a family within a family, and it's unless you've pitched in the bullpen, you really don't understand our job, really. I mean, coming in with a couple, not even your runners on base, having to make pitches right away, it's tough. So it's a nice calling card, and we like to take that mentality. If we got the lead, we like to protect it. So,
definitely.
Our mafia is all about the protection business.
And how close are you with those guys? Just the relationship?
I was traded over here in 09, so I've been with Joe Smith since 09.
Yeah.
Vinny came up at the end of 010. So, I mean, it's very rare to have 3 or 4 guys stay together for that many years. But it's fun. I mean, we know each other. We know each other's routines. We know each other's habits. We know what each other need to work on. So it's good. And I think the biggest key to any successful bullpen like that is checking your ego at the door. It's easy for me to say because I'm the closer, but those guys down there, they really don't. Some bullpens, there's other guys thinking they should pitch the 7th, they should pitch the 8th.
Right.
As long as I do my job, it kind of sets up perfectly. Vinny fits in the 8th. He loves it. He gets the same kind of adrenaline rush, and Smitty does his thing in the 7th. So it's worked out great the last couple of years.
Jason Serino has the next question. How about Francona and coming in and what he's just done for the team so far, and as a player, just seeing that transition?
It's a lot more open, a lot more communication, without a doubt. Just for an example, after my first outing, I was sitting at home watching, I think, basketball game, and then he texted me, just, hey, great job today. I didn't see you afterwards, and just little things like that. The season's really long, and during the course of the season, can get caught up a lot in just the wins and losses, which we should. But at the same time, I mean, we're human beings too. You know, some people think we're machines, and every day we should, perform at 100%, and we try, but it just doesn't work like that. So to have that human element, because we travel, we have birthdays on the road, all kinds of stuff, and to have that human element from your leader, it goes a long way.
It's such a nice thing to see, and everyone said that too that we asked. They just the personal level that Francona brings to it.
It's above and beyond what it really has to be, and it's good. It brings it makes you feel more comfortable, and the more comfortable you are, the better you're going to play.
Okay, we have our last 3-part question from Brad Collins.
My
just
thesis.
a little rapid fire, whatnot. So, funniest guy in the team. We'll see if you make this a unanimous vote.
The funniest guy in the team is Frank Herman.
Oh, no, you didn't make that a unanimous vote. Jason Kipnis.
Oh, who do you got, a bunch of hitters on there? He's by far
Frank
not the
Herman.
funniest guy.
Frank Herman.
His roommate, Vinny Pistano, is funnier than him.
Oh, sorry, Kipnis. Here we go. Your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Back to the Future.
Okay, and lastly, favorite place to travel? Which city when you're on the road?
Seattle. We're spoiled. We get to go there the best part of the year.
Too.
It's always, since we've been there, it's always sunny and beautiful, and
no rain.
The city, no rain, no clouds, and it's just a beautiful city. You step off the plane, you breathe in that mountain air, and it energizes me a little bit.
Okay, I like it. I'll vote for you for funniest guy on the team if my vote counts. I don't know, but thanks for joining us here on STO's Social Spotlight. It's time for Social Spotlight with Justin Masterson, who joins me now. You ready to answer some fan questions for you from our Facebook page?
Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, you look very excited, and I'm excited.
I'm extremely excited
to ask you these questions.
Yeah.
First up, Chris McMahon, how do you feel about the off-season moves that have taken place? Do you think now the Tribe can be contenders?
I thought before the Tribe could be contenders.
Okay.
I think just bringing in Terry Francona with the people we had would be a good opportunity if we play the way we're supposed to. But I mean, we even have a better chance now with the new people in here.
Definitely. Michael Stromer says, "What do you need to improve on this year? What do you feel like?"
What do I need to prove on? Pitching better sometimes.
No.
I just got I had 7 or 8 games where I wasn't so good, and it's just filling up the strike zone, trying to get ahead in counts. That's probably the biggest thing that'll help me out.
Okay, Ronald Kessler says, out of your repertoire of pitches, what is your go-to?
Oh, my sinker. That's what that means. Yeah, that's my go-to.
Without a doubt.
Fastball, sinking action.
Okay.
Watch yourselves.
Kenny Crawley says, how do you feel about playing for a team with so much history behind it?
How do I feel? Well, I feel good. I mean, it's one of the teams, I grew up in Ohio. I kind of follow the Reds a little bit more than the Indians. But it's pretty incredible how many friends and family I have, and just I was in Miami, walking around, and there was this older gentleman who was like, "Are you Justin Masterson?" I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you didn't know what to answer.
Yeah, I like to keep it real, but it's just, it is. There's, it's such a great fan base and such a good history to it.
Let's see. Andy Me says, how much of an adjustment was it to go from being a reliever to a starter? He says he's confident that you and Abaldo will have all-star type season.
Yeah,
so that's good to hear,
right? I think he's right. I think he's right on that fact. The only, for me, going from bullpen starter, not that different, not too bad. It's just a different routine. In between, you once every 5 days compared to having a chance to pitch every day.
Angelo Ryan would like to know how your golf game is.
It comes and goes. Sometimes, I had a couple Badunga drives the other day. I was just out there. But unfortunately, since we had our daughter, I haven't gotten out too much. But I enjoy going.
You could teach her how to golf now.
Yeah, eventually.
Putt-putt, right?
Yeah, putt-putt. We'll get out there. Maybe she could help me learn how to putt-putt. But either way, the driver and the long irons are good. Everything else needs a little work. And
your daughter is adorable, by the way. I had the pleasure of meeting her when I was with your wife baking for her cookies. And it's funny because the next question is from Jason Scharf and says, is it true that your wife's cookies will be sold at the stadium?
I do not know if that is true. I think you could try and push for that. I don't think we'd be against that.
Yeah,
but that would be awesome. But no, things have been going great with it, and we've been having a good time and trying to readjust some things just to make it that much better.
Okay. Randy Wagner, speaking of your daughter, how is fatherhood, and really what does it just teach you as she gets older?
Fatherhood is great. I love it. I couldn't imagine, without having a kid, and we're hoping for tons more. But Yeah, just, when you get married, you realize how selfish you are. When you have a kid, you realize you're still really selfish. And, they teach you to not be selfish, but also to remember what it's being like being a kid, and to not get too upset with them, but appreciate who they are and what they're doing.
Tom Christopher, how is it to reunite with Francona, and just what has he really brought here?
As the song says, it feels so good.
You want to sing it for us? Come on, bust it out.
Reunited, it feels so good.
Oh, this should just play. This would be perfect. We'll edit that in there.
Absolutely. No, it's great. I mean, I enjoyed my time with him in Boston, and he just garners a bunch of respect from everybody, just from playing the game to the way he goes about his business. And he's been sitting in the box for the last year doing TV games, so he's excited to be here, and I'm excited to have him.
Okay, lastly, 3-part quick little question here.
3-part?
Brad Collins says, funniest guy on the team?
Vinny. I think Vinny's pretty funny.
And your favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
Is it a cartoon now because of your daughter? Or
no, it's still Man on Fire.
Okay.
Big fan of that.
And lastly, your favorite place, a city to travel when you're on the road?
Seattle. I think it's just...
A lot of people are saying Seattle.
Well, it's always beautiful out there for me. It hasn't rained since I've been there, and it's just, the stadium's got a neat look to it, and it's a pitcher's park.
All right, there we go. Well, that wasn't too hard, right?
Not too hard,
Thanks
but I don't know if we'll do it again.
Hey. Whatever. He'll just sing a little more next time on the edition of Social Spotlight. Thanks for joining us.